So the Jacksonville Jaguars announced yesterday that Travis Hunter will be switching to full-time quarterback and part-time wide receiver for the upcoming 2026-27 season. A different change of pace last year for his rookie year where he was predominantly a wide receiver and part-time in the secondary. I have no issue with this. When you look at down the stretch of the season, when you have the emergence of Parker Washington that really heated up there, the trade to bring in Jacoby Myers, even still the talent, even though he did have a down year with Brian Thomas Jr., it's definitely a crowded room. That's like I'm mentioning Brenton Strange, who did have a solid year with Evan Ingram being gone from the team. It seems like they have a solid core right there at wide receiver, and it seems redundant to make Travis Hunter still a wide receiver predominantly in 2026. Because where does he really fit in that? Now, in terms of talent-wise, you could say he's the second best or arguably the best wide receiver that they have there. But in terms of just functionality, it makes no sense to have Travis Hunter full-time wide receiver though when you already have the pieces already in place good enough for Trevor Lawrence there with so the security blanket, the reliability in Jacoby Myers, and of course the great plays from Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. You already have that in place there. Now again, to say you can't ramp up the wide receiver snaps a little bit more when the weeks go on, or there's times where maybe you in dire need if there's a major injury, you can't switch him back to wide receiver for at least a game. But I do think this is the right move to put Travis Hunter at that spot there. You're going to be potentially losing Greg Newsome this offseason. Well, you want to sign him. Spot has him as an average of $9 million a year. So certainly that is an option there at that point there, as well as using other depth pieces at the quarterback position. Not the same caliber of Greg Newsome, but certainly you're losing more depth at the secondary spot as opposed to wide receiver, where your top guy is De'Ami Brown or Tim Patrick could be losing, which is not that much of a loss as opposed to Greg Newsome at that point there. So I have no issue with Travis Hunter and what Jacksonville's doing with them for moving back to the secondary. I just hope that this is not a recurrence every single year where it's a constant change every single year, where next year, the year after in 2027, he's a wide receiver. Then 2028, it's back to the cornerback. I don't think they're going to play it that way, but I just hope it's not constantly back and forth with that. But I do understand that because of the two positions that he plays, he does offer that. Maybe for Travis Hunter, he does push that a little bit more, that he wants to play both positions every single game, year in, year out, which is not sustainable for the amount of snaps that maybe he wants to play, but certainly is an option for him too. But again, I'd like that they're moving him to the cornerback position and kind of phasing him out a little bit wide receiver because of the players they have right now.